Inside you have 4 shades. You have Dark Cocoa, which is a warmer sculpting shade. You have Pop of Light, which is a luminous pop of color with a bit of shimmer. Then we have Light Cocoa, which is a matte bone color. And we also have Medium Cocoa, which is a cooler tone sculpting shade, perfect for creating shadow. Now you see the difference between these two. One is cool and one is warm. Dark Cocoa is warm and Medium Cocoa is cool. And then you have the Contour Buki brush that's included in the kit, and it's a short angled brush, perfect for sculpting. I will be walking you through this how-to glamour guide, starting from instant cheekbones, taking you to skinny sculpt, all the way to celebrity contour. Now I've already applied my foundation, and the reason I do this is because we're using powder, and powder needs something to grab onto. The reason for contouring is to bring the narrow and broad areas into proportion and to create dimension to the face. I'm going to begin with instant cheekbones. We'll be applying this to the forehead, the cheekbone, and the jawline, creating depth, and we're going to be bringing light to the higher points of our face. We will be using Light Cocoa and Medium Cocoa. I'm picking up Medium Cocoa with the Contour Buki brush and dabbing a little bit off because a little bit of product goes a long way. Using this part of the ear as a reference point, I go downward in a cone shape towards the nose. Every time I deposit color, I begin towards the hairline and work my way inward, making sure not to go too far down and kind of blending upward. I don't like to deposit color in the middle of the cheek because you could end up with splotches that don't blend out. For this look, we only want to create shadow and depth, so we want to make sure to diffuse any lines. Now I'm going to repeat this step to the other side, and I like to blend the color up and out into the temples so that way you don't just have a line of color, it just all blends smoothly and gradually fades upward. Now since I have a wider forehead, I'm going to focus on the temples and just gradually fade the color into the center of my forehead, and the reason I do that is to bring less attention to the width of my forehead. And it brings more focus to the center of the forehead. Using the same shade, I'm going to do the same to the jawline. I'm going to create depth and a shadow just to bring less attention to those unwanted features. I like to begin below the jawline and gradually fade the color upwards onto the jawline to blend everything cohesively, and then I kind of bring it up to the cheekbone as well. Now I'm going to pick up Light Cocoa. I'm going to deposit the color by the hairline, working my way inward below the eye. You want to do it this way because sometimes if you put too much light color below the eyes, it creates a gray shadow. See how that instantly brought light to the cheeks? And that's because the higher planes of the face usually catch more light than the rest of our features. Now I'm going to pat the color up the center of my nose towards the center of my forehead and blend up and out. See how the sides of my nose already look contoured because we added that light to the center? Now I'm going to add light to accentuate the cupid's bow and chin. That was instant cheekbones. Now I'm going to walk you through skinny sculpt. For skinny sculpt, we will be adding warmth and depth, as well as bringing Light Cocoa to the jawline to add more of a chiseled effect, and bring Pop of Light to create more of a glow to the skin. I'm going to pick up Light Cocoa and dab that right below the contour shade that we used on our cheek, and that's just going to create more of a defined line. Now moving on to Pop of Light. You have to be careful where you place products containing shimmer. They can accentuate unwanted features such as large pores. So I like to keep the focus on the outer part of my eye, the higher point of my cheekbone, and around my eyebrow. The light will naturally pick up on this color and bring more attention to the eyes and the higher points of the cheek, and creating more depth to the shadow we added to the contour on the cheek. Adding this type of dimension creates the illusion of higher, more sculpted cheekbones. Now I'm going to add warmth with Dark Cocoa. You can choose to pinch your brush to make things easier. I'm going to drag it along the entire side of my nose, from the tip of my nose all the way up to the brow bone. Now the reason you want to extend the color all the way to the brow bone is because naturally that's where we would have shadows. Now you can skip this step if you have a slim nose already. Now I'm going to just chisel out the cheekbones by just dabbing the color and kind of blending upwards. This will give you more of a sculpted, defined shadow. Check out the difference between the two cheeks. Now don't worry about any harsh unwanted edges like the one I have on the side of my nose, because I will be showing you how to blend everything together smoothly. Just going to add a little more warmth to the temples and the jawline. Now you can go a step further and add a little more depth to the collarbone and the sides of the neck. So by going through instant cheekbones and skinny sculpt, it kind of prepares you for celebrity contour. Now all you have to do here is really add a little more highlight and maybe a tiny bit more shadow in certain areas. And I'm going to add a little more of my favorite tricks to do. I'm going to pick a pop of light with a blending brush and apply that to the brow bone to really lift the area and add some light. I'm going to apply that same color to the inner part of my eyes to add that glow and really bring focus there. As well as bringing it up the bridge of my nose. See how the light just catches beautifully on that? And I'm just going to blend it all softly. I'm going to pick up light cocoa and soften the edges from our deeper contouring shades that we applied to the sides of the nose. I'm going to show you a little trick. Using medium cocoa, I'm going to lightly cup the cheekbones. And I'm using a really soft hand so we don't get any splotches of color anywhere, and just blending towards our pre-existing contour shade. So that there was celebrity contour. Now that I've showed you all three looks, I'm going to put this aside and apply my blush. I'm using Too Faced Sweetheart's Perfect Flush Blush in Peach Beach. This blush has an amazing glow, but remember what I said, if you have bigger pores or even textured skin, this will bring more attention and focus and accentuate that. If that's the case, I would recommend using a matte blush. Notice that I'm only applying the blush to the lower part of the apples of my cheeks and blending towards a contour shade. I don't like to go too far up because then I get into my highlight color underneath my eyes. Look at how beautiful the dimension looks. But now I'm going to show you another trick. Using my foundation brush, I'm going to blend out any harsh edges like the ones I had on the side of my nose to kind of blend everything smoothly, just like it's melting into the skin. So remember, I added depth and shadow to the outer perimeter of my face and brought light and focus to the center of my face. So one thing to remember when highlighting and contouring is light reveals and dark conceals and creates depth. I'm absolutely in love with the fact that you can sculpt your entire face in less than 5 minutes with just one kit. Now I'm going to show you some swatches. First, I'm going to swatch Dark Cocoa, which is the warmest, deepest shade in the palette. Now moving along to Medium Cocoa, which is a cooler contouring shade. Pop of Light is a very subtle color with a bit of shimmer and sheen to it. Lastly, we have Light Cocoa, which is a very opaque bone matte color. See the difference between the two and how much more Light Cocoa pops? And there you have it, all that in this very small, compact, and convenient kit. Just so you get an idea, I'm going to show you the comparison with the kit and my phone. Look at that. It's something that you can just pop right into your purse. I can't forget the best features. This kit includes antioxidant-rich cocoa powder and moisturizing cocoa butter that work together to hydrate and smooth the skin and boost your mood. And the best part about it, it smells like chocolate. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe. If you found my video helpful and would love for me to do some more, please like, comment, share, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram for daily beauty posts.